Kirby Air Ride City Trial Mode is my go-to example for a great concept and equally great execution. The thought and care that's been put into making this mode the greatest it could possibly be is the reason why this game is so loved, considering that the other two modes aren't talked about nearly as much. So get ready for a tour around the city as I dig deep to unearth the many reasons why this mode is such a gem. City Trial's map is all about juxtaposition. It's totally absurd. A volcano just smack dab next to a city, a forest, and a boundless ocean. These rundown houses are overshadowed by these tall buildings from said city and a lighthouse. Nothing blends together. It's like someone took a knife and cut a line between each sector. It feels like this setting should be a disaster in terms of game design, but it's not. Because of how this whole city is connected, it gives it a sense of unity. Underground, there are tons of paths and routes interconnected between each sector for ease of travel. Check it out. Here's the main section underneath the city, and here are all the ways to get to said section. There's rarely just one way to get somewhere. These tunnels are your playground, and it's satisfying to learn how they connect and interact with one another. On the overworld, we have railway stations that provide quick transport between all major sections on the outer edges of the map. Up in the sky, there are these yellow rings that will give you boosts when you fly through them, so you can get to where you want even quicker. Even higher up is this huge thing in the sky that overlooks everything, so if you manage to get up there, you can just drop down to wherever you want. How do you get there, you ask? Well, you can destroy the rocks at the base of the volcano and enter the light. You can go up around the volcano, down the rail, and enter the light. You can go across the bridge and enter the top of the volcano. If you're a little higher up, you can simply fall into the top of the volcano, or if your vehicle has enough flight capabilities, you can just fly up there yourself. I haven't even explained what the mode itself is yet, and I already want to ride around wasting time here. City Trial would not be as popular as it is if it weren't for this ingenious map design, and I only scratched the surface, but let's move on to the mode itself. Where do I even begin with this mode? Like, I was originally planning on having this be a whole scripted thing and have my thoughts all cohesively drawn together and stringed together into this beautiful thing, but you know, that's just trying to structurally organize something like that is so painfully difficult. Something that you're like this passionate about that you just want to release from your chest. Just trying to do something like that in like an ordered script is so frustrating to me. So that's why I'm gonna take this kind of approach. So I'm just gonna go like Spitfire, right? Not Spitfire, but whatever, you know what I mean. Whenever you enter in City Trial, it's never gonna be the same time of day. It's gonna change in between. So you might come down and it's gonna be like completely daytime, right? You might come down and it's gonna be evening, like sunset. Or you might come down and it's nighttime. Or you might come down and it might have like a slight fog tint to it. You never really know. And also, the same theme doesn't play every single time, different themes play. So you have like the regular City Trial, and then what you have is City Trial and in parentheses, backside. It's never, no game is the same. It's the same reason why people love Smash Brothers, you know? Because like you play Smash and even though it might feel the same, not every game is going to be truly the exact same way. There are different ways to go about it, different ways to explore the entire area. Powering up your vehicle is the most satisfying thing ever. You get that top speed and you hear that, like you hear that sound effect, it feels good. Like you go faster and faster, you can pause and there's like a little screen that tallies up every single power up that you have and it's like, whoa, I'm actually improving, you know? And it's even better when you play with a friend, because you know what happens is you can hurt people, well I mean that sounds bad, but you can hurt your friends, that's better, and you can take their patches, and even better, if you get their vehicle, every vehicle has designated health, which you could also increase with patches, you can kill them, or let's say destroy their vehicle, and then their vehicle just boom, like just explodes, and then Kirby goes flying up into the sky, and then bam, he slams back down onto the ground, and then all their power-ups just explode out of their body like Sonic lost rings, kind of like that. Like, and it's so satisfying when you kill someone, because you hear a like you hear like a sound effect and they just blow up and you're like, yeah, and then you take all the power-ups. And then your friend might dedicate the rest of his game to powering up his vehicle with like a bunch of offense to get back at you. So you might be like, well, you know what, I may need more defense. So you're gonna try to find blue boxes, and if they don't have what you need, you're gonna keep trying to find more and more in order to get what you need. It's really exciting. Now, I should just change this from City Trial's greatness. I should change this to why City Trial is the greatest freaking mode in any video game ever. Nothing's going to top it for me. Let's look at the little details in City Trial. So you have, you have Wispy Woods, who's in the forest. And it's like, oh hey, this is Wispy. And you might try running into him, right? But if you do it a couple times, he gets all shad and stuff, because it's like, dude, you just beat up Wispy. What the heck, man? And it's cool, because it's like, how would he think to add that detail? And then you have these little flowers. There's one on top of the castle, which is on like the northeastern side of the map, and then one right next to the volcano on like the northwestern side of the map. And then when you find those when you're young, it feels like important. Like there is nothing there. You know, there is absolutely nothing to be found there, just besides the flower. That's it. You can like look at your friend all the way across the map and he's at the other flower, or she's at the other flower, you know? And it's fun, you know? And then there's the star in the middle of the city, right? And you go up to the star through this light beam that just whoosh you upwards. And you could just, when you crash through that star, like there's these yellow rings that are set up so you can just go right through them, and then it boosts you up and it's like, and then it's like, whoa, that's really cool. Like, oh, here's another Easter egg. Below the forest, you'll see these little structures of the city, like miniaturized versions of it. That was so cool. When I found that, I thought that was the coolest thing when I was younger. It's like, oh, it's like these architects put these here, almost as if this is like what they modeled it afterwards, you know? That's just the coolest thing ever. And then you have events. Oh, geez, don't get me started on these events. Like, these things are crazy. Like, one of them is, same item boxes. Like, that one's pretty cool, where the same item is contained in every single box. And you're like, oh man, what's it gonna be? You know, like, what's in the box? And then you open it up and it's like all top speed or all glide, and then you're just like, yes, oh my gosh. Like, that's the greatest feeling. Or sometimes you'll get an event and it'll say like, huge meteors are incoming, and you just freaking lose your mind. Because when you look up into the sky, you see these things they are just coming down on you. There's like 6 of them coming down at a time in different parts of the map. And then by the time you think it's all over, guess what? A huge meteor just in the middle of that, boom, destroys everything. You know what makes that even better though? There are parts of the map that are destructible. I talked about these rundown houses earlier. They can all destroy during the meteor attack, and I think the trees and the forest too. And then you can destroy the rocks in the volcano, but all that could just boom, it's all gone. Near the latter half of the match, you can get them before that, but it's a little difficult. You'll find these pieces in which you're trying to assemble all 3 of them, and there's 2 different legendary air ride machines. You have the Dragoon and the Hydra. But what's cool about the pieces is that everything up until this point, you've only seen 2-dimensional objects, right? Or patches. But now you have these like weird 3D entities, like otherworldly. Like, we know Kirby's 3D and like what you're riding on is 3D, but they look strange. Like, their coloring and artistic style, the design choice they went for them is weird, you know? And when you get all 3 of them, it just boom, and then Kirby like looks back at you, and then he's all just like, yeah, and then you're looking back at him and you're like, yeah, and then you know what happens? The whole sky darkens. Like, the entire game is applauding you for the job that you did to collect all these pieces, because you may not be the only one looking for them. The whole sky darkens in your embrace, and it just yields to you. And guess what? All the music changes too, in which it is just hailing you as its master. Like, you have the Dragoon, which has the best flight in the game, I think. I don't really know, but it just has ridiculous flight capabilities, and it just towers over everyone. Or you have the Hydra. When your friend gets the Hydra, you don't know true fear. When your friend has the Hydra and he's charging it up, and you're just trying to find some safe spot in the city, and he is able to find you, that is horrifying. So when you have the whole sky dimmed down and the whole legendary air ride machine playing, and it's like, dude, this is awesome. Like, the whole game, and like everything's connected, and it's just beautiful. Like, there's nothing. And overall, the main thing that you need to take away, and this is what everything's been leading up to, there is a checklist for every mode in this game. Now, whenever you fulfill one of those achievements, this game plays the best sound effect I have ever heard in any game ever. every time this sound effect plays, I just get shivers. So I'm going to grace your ears with it. It's just so beautiful. Like, I can't, like, I'm gonna cry. It's just so beautiful. It's so good. So, like, you're playing a game of City Trial. You play through the stadium, you know, and then you hear... You just gotta lay back and you're like, man, this is awesome. Like, this is gaming, you know? Like, everyone... I wish everyone could find the same amount of love in a certain part of a video game that I can with City Trial. And if people have, then that's awesome. But, like, this is just such a good mode. It's brilliant. And I really don't know. I don't have anything. I don't have a quote or anything witty to end this video off on.